Talk to me about how you deal with criticism and the inevitable ups and downs of success. You're someone that has got both.
By being empathetic to it being a reality of life. It's inconceivable that you want attention and you're not going to have judgment in a world that is obsessed with taking things out of context and only headline reading. There's no common sense to that. I don't take it personal. I care about the judgment of the most inner circles that I have, family and friends, employees, inner circles, acquaintances that became friends. Like, I can't be upset if Johnny 97 thinks I'm a dick face because my energy's too much. I'm also empathetic. I know that my alpha competitive, high energy Jersey, like I know what this is. That's not for everybody. Some people want to zen out. If you want to zen the fuck out, I'm not your guy. And so I'm just too empathetic. I also think it's humility. At the end of the day, I'm like, who the fuck am I? Gives a fuck. If I die tomorrow, what's going to happen? I'll get 24 hours of love on social, right? People will be like, oh man, what the fuck? Like,
And then a year later, do you remember Gary Vee?
100%. And luckily, we live in an era where we're more like, all of us are more like the most famous people in the world. Like, we'll live forever. Like, a clip from this, like, do you know how cool it is that do you know how fun it will be? This is insane. Your and my great-great-great-grandchildren will somehow realize, because last names, things will change, but somehow, if they became great friends, would somehow family tree it and be like, holy fuck. And they're going to, hey, Jeremiah 794. Like, they will literally watch this. Do you know how cool that is? But at the end of the day, how do I handle it? Humility and empathy.
Talk to me about just that immediate emotional reaction. I think that overcoming that is something that a lot of people struggle with.
Well, I think that's right. I think
it's nice in the stark contrast with the nice perspective.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree. Price it in as the cost of doing business. Cost of doing business, you put things on the internet, people are going to say mean stuff to you.
Yeah.
And fighting against that is like King Canute trying to stop the tide. But that...
Do you know fighting?
Yes.
Okay. You know some people like getting punched in the face?
Yes, I'm friends with Tim Kennedy, yes.
I like getting punched in the face. That's my answer. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yep. It's part of your nature.
It's my nature. I was shit on my whole life. I was a Russian immigrant. I came over here. Russia was the bad guys when I came here. So I got shit on in grade school. I didn't speak English. When I moved, this is a story I tell very rarely. Very rarely. I think I've done it once or twice. I'm going there. I often talk about, I lived in, people that really know me, my story is I went from Queens to Edison, New Jersey. Edison, New Jersey, where I became a Jets fan and an entrepreneur. But it's not fully true. Queens to Dover for a year, then Edison. Dover doesn't make my story. I never understood why, but I'm starting to tap into it. It was bad. Because I didn't speak English and because I went outside a lot, I got picked on a lot. And it was a rough neighborhood. I remember one story, that's the main story I remember of that era, where I saw the kid pee in the Pepsi cup, like by the tree. And they came over and the 7 of them bullied me to drink it. I was 5. And I kind of like tried, like if I don't, it's very blurry. I mean, it's 43 years ago, but like, I didn't speak English. Obviously, when you're an animal, like a human at 5, you know what's happening. But like, then I was a terrible student. I was D's and F's. And this was the 80s. There was no political correctness. My teachers literally would look me in the face. These are grown-ups. They're your teachers. You look up to them. They're like, you are a loser. You're dumb. You're going to fail. You're going to be a garbage man. Then I also loved sports. I played sports all the time. Do you know what happens when you play sports? You lose a lot. You win sometimes, but you lose a lot. Video games, this. And then I sold stuff. I did lemonade stands. I would sit on Tingley Lane in Edison, New Jersey as a 9-year-old, and I would watch millions. Let's take a step back. I would see hundreds of cars drop by and not stop for my sign and occasionally get one. I live life under the mindset of it's all shit, but it doesn't matter. The shit doesn't matter. It's the sunshine, the occasional sunshines that is everything. And I think people live the reverse. A little ounce of poopy makes them cry because they're soft, because they're not hard enough, because they're not loving themselves. I love myself too much to give up about you. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't want to be delusional. I don't want to be living in my own ecosystem. I respect other opinions. I internalize for processing other opinions, but I have no interest in putting your subjective opinion about me above my opinion above me. That's how I deal with it.
Neediness occurs when you place someone else's opinion of you above your opinion of you.
Period. I don't put my parents' opinion above me. I don't even, if I'm not going to do that with my parents who I love the most, who built me, if I'm not putting my mom's opinion about me above me on me, how the am I going to do that about Charlie or Rick or Susan or Hasim? You.
I'm interested in what drives you now. I get that when there's a point to prove, that when you're an immigrant, that when you've been picked on, that when you've been told that you're a loser.
You know what's funny? My spirit doesn't come from that chip on the shoulder, even though I just spoke with passion about it. Mine's about curiosity I like the game. I'm curious in a wild, I would have loved to have been a professional athlete. I'm so sad I wasn't. That would have really, really satisfied me because the data was there. If I was a running back in the NFL, it would have been over and I would have ranked 97th in career rushing yards, 400th in career touchdowns, right? 18th in receptions by a running back. And I could have I would have enjoyed that. I would have been like, good for Barry Sanders. He was better than me. And you, Ricky Williams, I was better than you. That's what drives the shit out of me in entrepreneurship. I love this game of brand building and business building. I'm talking what drives me as a professional. As a human, what drives me is to be happy as often as possible and interact with the people I like the most as often as possible. But so much of what I love and what makes me smile is the friendships I make through the process of business, the family I make through business. It's so fun for me. And I'm curious. I love where I'm at right now. I've done well, but there are unlimited people on stats that have done better than me. But I have a sneaky feeling that I'm going to catch up. And so what drives me is I think I've been built for the fourth quarter my whole life. I alluded to it earlier. Everything I've been building is for 60 to 70. So
do you still want to be working and grinding when you're 60 and 70?
Of course, because it's my hobby. I don't want to do anything that I don't like. I was a D&F student because I didn't like it. I was smart enough to get B's and C's, but I didn't even have that gear in me. If you said to me, hey, great interview, do me a favor, could you help me hang this picture real quick? I'd be dead. I'd literally rather give you lots of money or do anything. I would go on a conference call to all of your employees for 14 hours that I don't have sooner than help you hang that picture. So of course I want to do that because I don't think of it as grinding. I don't think of it as hustle porn. I think of it as doing the thing that brings me the most joy. I would rather be in a business meeting than on a golf course. I would rather be in a business meeting than sailing. I would rather be in a business meeting than cooking. I'd rather be in a business meeting than watching a movie. I'd rather be really watching the Jets, having dinner with my family, love dinners with people, love jam sessions. It's so fun to be in Austin. This is where I learned to love it. South by Southwest on the ground in hotel rooms. Give me 25, 7, 19, 8, 13 smart people, clever people, thinking people, thoughtful people, and just jam about it. I'll take that over working every day of the week. But there's just not a lot of garage sailing. I know that's a funny, people, a lot of the kids, because my TikTok videos a lot of the kids think of me as the garage sale guy because my TikTok videos do but even that's business, marketing, buy, sell, trade. I really love it. And so of course I want to be doing, you hear these stories, I'm sure this has crossed your paths, of the people who retire at 81 and then die at 82. I know why. They thought it was what they were supposed to do, and it took the life out of them. I have two important things to say about this. One, I'll do this forever, and I really hope to live to at least 100 doing it. Two, I'm incredibly excited of making my last social media post a split screen of this, where I just ranted here, and now 71-year-old me is making a video and saying, today's the day I'm retiring, both from running businesses and making content. This has been the great joy of my life. I love all of you. I hope that all the archives of everything I've put out can bring value to all of you. But today was the day I woke up and I said, I don't like this anymore.
So you're open to this trajectory not continuing in the way that you see it right now?
In a way that would make your head spin. An equal, visceral, high energy of like the day I wake up and I'm like, this shit, I'm out. In the same way that I have full conviction as I sit here right now that day will never come.
In other news, this episode is brought to you by NetSuite. The less your business spends on operations, on multiple systems, on delivering your product or service, the more margin you have and the more money that you keep. But with higher expenses on materials, employees, distribution, and borrowing, everything costs more. So, to reduce costs and headaches, smart businesses are graduating to NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system, bringing accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR into one platform. With NetSuite, you reduce IT costs because NetSuite lives in the cloud with no hardware required and accessed from anywhere. You cut the cost of maintaining multiple systems because you've got one unified business management suite, and you're improving efficiency by bringing all of your major business processes into one platform. Over 37,000 companies have already made the move. NetSuite has extended its one-of-a-kind flexible financing program for a few more weeks. So right now, you can get that by following the link in the show notes below or heading to netsuite.com/modern. That's netsuite.com/modern. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, you will love the full-length 2-hour-long podcast with Gary, which is available right here. Go on. Give it a tap.